We stand at a time where we believe that we are losing our minds. We believe that we are paranoid. We believe that we are insane because we're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But that is how you feel when you have not stepped foot in the realm of God. That's spiritually and reality colliding together. One is going to win over the other. And I can tell you now, spirituality will win out every single time. For the message is pure. For the Word was Him, and He was the Word. It's powerful to believe in the Word. We call things by different names in different languages and different tongues all across the world. But we give those things life. When we call them by their name, we give them life, recognition, power. And it is what happens when we give it power, when we feed its ego, when it becomes greater than what it should be. Let not the devil win. Because every time we speak his name, he appears. Every time we seek to move further in our travels, and we say what we want to do, what our destination is, who is in our company, the devil attacks. The devil begins to try to rattle your cages because he knows that you are already in a cage within yourself. That you have held yourself a prisoner for quite some time. Whether you're a drug addict, an alcoholic, whether you like to smoke, whether you like to do weed, whether you like to do some having sex, the devil has already laid that temptation before you, and you have failed the test. Because you cannot deny that these things come into fruition by our words, come into fruition by our deeds. If you're an alcoholic, you know you can't be around alcohol because you don't want it. You want to taste that flavor. You want to have that feeling. So many things rush to your mind and tell you that it's okay to bend the rules. It's okay this one time. It's okay. We're going to have one glass of wine. I'm going to have one beer. Same for the drug addict. I'm going to have one hit, one shot, one blunt, and then I'm not going to do it anymore. But then you continue to do it over and over and over again. So you do meet the criteria of insanity. But that's the devil laying out his traps, hoping that you fall for it. That's how he got our ancestors, Adam and Eve, to eat the apple. So that he can build a kingdom, trying to match the heights of God. You ever notice that whatever God is, he is the opposite? God is for love, and he is about hate. God is about beauty, and the devil is about shame. God is about man, and the devil is about the soul. He wants to prove to God that you are unworthy of blessings, that you are unworthy to be heard in your prayers, that you're unworthy to stand before the angels, that you're unworthy to have angels around you because you forfeit the right by the sins that you commit. Man, how many times you break your word? How many times you break your promise? Whether or not you help those in need or not. All it takes you is to break a law, and the devil is all on your back. Break a promise, and the devil is all over your back. And what I say to you today is, let not the devil win. Before him all nations are nothing. They are regarded by him as worthless, and less than that, nothing. To whom this will you compare God? What image will you compare to him? As for an idol, a craftsman cast it, and a goldsmith overlays it with gold, and fashion chains for it. A man too poor to present such an offering selects wood that will not rot. He looks for a skilled craftsman to set up the idol that will not topple. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the beginning? Have you not understood since the world was founded? He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the kingdom of heaven like a canopy. He spread them out like a tent to live in. He brings princes to naught and reduces the rulers of this world to nothing. No sooner are they planted, no sooner are they sown, no sooner do they take root into the ground, then he blows on them and they wither, and a whirlwind sweeps away like the chaff. To whom will you compare me, or who is my equal? Says the Holy One. Lift your eyes and look to the heavens, who created all of these. He who brings out of starry hosts one by one and call each of them by their name, because of the greatness of his power and the mightiness of his strength. No one of them is missing. Why do you say, O Jacob? Why do you say, O Israel? My way is hidden from the Lord. My cause is discarded by my God. Do you not know? Have you no heart? The Lord is everlasting God, the creators of the heavens and the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary, increase the power of the weak. Even the youth grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar upon wings like an eagle. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Isaiah chapter 40. Reminding us that this is a long journey. This is a long battle. This is the wilderness and the darkness that we have come accustomed to. We have accustomed ourselves to being blind and deaf when the Lord is speaking to us over and over again. When the Lord sends before us someone to trust, someone to speak to, someone to release that built up frustration, that tiredness, that confusion, that shame, that embarrassment. When he gives us a comforter, we must take that comforter and use it. When the word begins to be spoken to you, we must be humble enough to allow the word in our minds, to allow the word to pacify us, to be humble before the word, because in the beginning there was the word, and the word was him. We must acknowledge that we can do nothing without the word of God. Our enemy seeks to be God. Our enemy seeks for us to bow before him by adding on burdens to our backs because we throw up vain prayers. And as I said before, the Lamb has already told us to pray, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, will be done on earth as it is in heaven. For thine is the kingdom. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom forever and ever and ever. Let not the devil win. Let us not fall on our knees to the wolf in sheep clothing, asking for mercy. See, when you become a servant of the Lord, when you become a child of the Lord, when you begin to believe in God and pray and begin to hold your head up high and do what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about bending down before God, because God wants to see you eye to eye. He wants to touch your life and move your spirit. He wants to get to know you inside and out. He doesn't want your pathetic pleas. Only when things are going wrong in your life. Calling him to be a maid to clean up what you just messed up. He doesn't want somebody torn between the devil and him. He is a vengeful God. He is a God worth serving. Why taste bitter when you can have sweet? Why live in a desolate desert, in the darkness, in the wilderness, when you can live in paradise and eat of the fruit of the living God? drink from the life wells of God. Why would you let the devil in and let him win when you've been fighting so hard in your life to overcome the obstacles that has been in your way? Why won't you rebuke the devil and follow the path that God has made for you? He says, out of the wilderness, inside the wilderness, I lay a path towards me. I lay a path towards truth. I lay a path towards righteousness. I lay a path towards heaven. I lay a path towards destiny. No enemy can touch you. Somehow we have this belief that the demons and the evil spirits can touch us. They can't. When you belong to God, they use your neighbor, they use your friend, they use your family, they use people that is around you that can get close to you to whisper in your ear the temptation to fall away from God, to break God's commandments, to break God's law, to break your vows with God. Those living situation to situation, it's time for you to finally decide who you belong to, because until you do, you will face drama and pain and anguish and embarrassment and shame. All we gotta do is look at the young folks who believe that everything they're doing is the right way. They know no other way. We are losing generations and generations because we refuse to stand and be lighthouses for all mankind, because we refuse to use the power of the Lord to change the direction of these young people. Change the direction of the lost and the lonely. Change the direction of the motherless and the fatherless. Change the direction of the child that has been abused. Change the direction of those who have darkness in their past that they have told no one. See, when you popular, all you hear is conversations about the club and conversations about this, that, and everything else. But those with a very special gift hear the problems of the world, and they are tasked with the responsibility to change their futures. Whether they do it or not, it's not up to you. But it is your job to sow the seed. That is the definition of my name, God sows. Because I must sow the seed. I am not meant to watch the tree grow up, or the plant grow up, or the fruit to be bared. My job is to let it plant the seeds and move on. Let not the devil win. Let him not be a part of your life. See, he knows you'll fall for his temptations because he's family. We don't look at Jesus as our family, the Lamb as our family, but that's our brother. He was born of flesh. That is our brother. The angels are our brothers and sisters. God is our Father of everything. Every living thing on this planet belongs to God. And we have to allow God's will to steer us through the future. We can't say that we love God, but we don't love ourselves. We can't say we love God, but we can't be truthful to ourselves. For the first power must come from you to resurrect and become who God asked you to become. A powerful individual. For me, only an alcoholic can talk to another alcoholic of the thirst of wanting to drink. Only someone who has been raped can talk to another person that has been raped because they went through the same situation. Only someone who is abused can really go and tell the story of what being abused is like. See, sometimes we look at things as if we messed up, but God has a way of making sure that the things that went wrong in your life will be something that you can testify to others. Something that you will be able to lift another person up off the ground because you have found your foundation. You have made it your resting place. It's going to take a while to build a house. It's going to take a while to build a temple to God, but you have already laid the foundation with the truth and your testimony. God is delivering people every day of every minute of every second, releasing them from their chains because they no longer want to be enslaved to the world. He's lifting burdens off the back of those that the devil has placed there. He is providing meaning to the names of those who want their names to be written in the book of life and in the hearts of men. Some of us sometimes feel forgotten. Some of us sometimes feel alone, but we are never alone as long as we have a God that loves us. We are never alone because He will be there to comfort us. He will be there to sit with us through our darkest days. He will be there to stand with you as you take courage, walking forward through the roadblocks, moving blocks out the way, moving rocks out the way. He will be there. His promise is forever. His vow to you is to love you forever. You can't beat that deal. There's no man on this earth willing to make that deal. We are subject to lose everything. But when we lose everything, we begin to see how much everything was worth to us. When we haven't balanced out our book, our checking book, we come up short. And when we come up short, we don't know what to do. But let me tell you, waiting hands pray. Believing in the word helps us understand that the power of God is with those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. We must seek the Lord as if the Lord just robbed the bank. We must be taking the clues and the hints and the words and the prophecies and the parables and the teachers. We need to be taking their words and listening to them and begin to move forward. Let not the devil win our soul, our families, our loved ones. Let not the devil win.